What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are ya? Now today is February the 18th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we're going to start off here in Washington, D.C., and we will finish up in New York City. Our first vendor of the video is going to be the Base of Ops vendor. Here we go.
Hello, Agent.
And starting off at the top, we have the Point Man. This is the named Heliguard chess piece with Perfect Vanguard as that talent. And this one with Armor Regeneration and Repair Skills. What I would do is pick this one up. You could change the repair skills off for, say, crit, chance, headshot, hazard, whatever you want, but match it up with that armor regeneration and you're good to go. Really good for support builds. Now on to the weapons. We have a Vector 9mm with armor damage and eyeless, a FAMAS with Future Perfect and max headshot, and finally a tactical M1911 with reload speed and lucky shot. Looking at the gear items, we have a Heliguard backpack with clutch, skill haste and explosive resistance, and finally a Legatus chest piece with crit hit damage, armor regeneration, and overwatch. Looking at the mods, we have headshot 7.6, drone armor repair 6.5, turret plus 1 extra sniper, and sticky bomb duration of, what was that, 6.3. Now, must buys, things to look for from the Base of Ops vendor. The Point Man's not bad. You could pick that one up. The Vector 9mm isn't bad either. You either want damage to targets at a cover or damage to armor on your weapons, and that's exactly what you have here on the Vector. So you could just change eyelist for whatever other talent you want, and you're good to go.
Nice doing business.
Now moving on to our Countdown and Clan vendors. Remember, they are here at the Base of Ops, but they are also available in Warlords of New York at the Haven Settlement. But here is your Countdown vendor. Starting with the Boomstick, this is the named double barrel shotgun with perfect pumped up, and this one with crit chance. Following that, we have a Punch Drunk. This is the named Douglas and Harding mask with headshot damage as an attribute at 20, and this one with health. You could easily just change the health off for crit chance and go crit chance headshot, and you'd be good to go. And finally, for the Countdown vendor, we have the Commando. This is the named SVD with Perfectly Naked as a talent, and this one with Rate of Fire. But the other attributes are high enough to where you could just change Rate of Fire off for, say, damage to targets at a cover or damage to armor, and you're good to go. Now, must-buys from the Countdown vendor, I would say the Punch Drunk is the best item out of these three, and just change that health off for crit chance. And that will leave us with the Clan vendor over here at the Base of Ops. And before we do that, big shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. We are on all platforms, so if you are interested in joining the DoD, let us know. Just join my Discord and go to the tab for whatever platform you are on, and there is a list. Just put your name on the list, and whenever we have opens, I will send out a mass message. But speaking of clans, here is your clan vendor. Starting with the Prophet. Now this is the named pistol with Perfect Determined, and it comes with headshot damage, but I would just change that off for, say, damage to targets at a cover, and you're good to go. Going to the gear set items, we have a Future Initiative mask with skill damage, a Ongoing Directive pair of gloves with explosive resistance, and a Heartbreaker backpack with hazard. Out of the three gear set items, the Heartbreaker backpack is the best of the three, and this is a really good one to pick up. Hazard with Heartbreaker is unstoppable. Going to the high-end items, we have a Black Market RPK with Perpetuation and Swap Speed, a UIC 15 with Optimal Range and Rifleman, a Richter and Kaiser holster with Skill Haste and Crit Chance, a Raldi holster with explosive resistance and status effects, Providence knee pads with headshot and hazard, but you could easily change that hazard to crit chance and go crit chance headshot. That would be a good one. And then the final two gear items, both Golan gear. The first one, chest piece, with entrench as that talent, health, and skill damage. And then finally, Golan gear holster with hazard and health. Looking at the mods, we have repair skills 17.0, shield damage bonus 4%, armor on kill 16k, and chem launcher +1 ammo. Now, must buys, things to look for from the clan vendor. The Prophet is a good one. Just put DTOC on it. The Heartbreaker backpack is a good one. The Providence knees are good. Just make it crit headshot. And, I mean, you could make the Golan Gear holster armor regeneration hazard if you wanted to, because the attributes are high enough. But that is it for the clan vendor, and that is it for the base of ops. So now it's time to travel west. We will double back east, but our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. Now, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you're picking up today.
Polarized hostiles in proximity.
Ooh, polarized hostiles. And remember, the global event is live right now, Polarity Switch, and that will last for 1 week. All right, here we go. Campus settlement. Starting with the Quiet Roar. This is the named LAMG with perfect overwhelm and damage to armor. I mean, it has the exact attributes that you want. It's not my favorite LMG in the game, but it's here. Moving on, we have a Paratrooper SVD with crit chance and spike. And finally, for the weapons, a classic M60 with magazine size and fast hands. Looking at the gear items, we have a Hanayu mask with crit damage, explosive resistance, and a Zoo holster with crit chance and status. Going to the mods, we have skill duration 8.4, chem launcher duration 4.2, hive +4 stinger charges, pulse cone size 6.4, and trap duration of 4.1. Now, must buys, things to look for from the campus. I really wouldn't, recommend anything from here. Moving on to our DZ vendors, starting with DZ West. West! Let's go. Oh, and a friendly reminder, all of your DZ vendors will only take DZ resources as currency. So toggle over to your resources tab, and just above your keys, you will see your Dark Zone resources. For example, I'm sitting at 142 out of 999, so if I need any more Dark Zone resources, I have to go into the Dark Zone and open up the little blue boxes, or I have to deconstruct contaminated items and then extract them for the DZ resources. But again, that is the only currency that these vendors will take. And speaking of which, here is DZ West. Starting with the Harmony. This is a fan-favorited named item. The reason being is this rifle comes with perfectly in sync as a talent. You can just change the health damage off for damage to targets at a cover, and you're good to go. Moving on with the weapons, we have a ACS-12 with health damage and perpetuation, and a MK-47 with magazine size and strained. Looking at the gear items, we have a True Patriot pair of gloves with explosive resistance, Hot Shot knee pads with status, Araldi gloves with weapon handling, repair skills, and finally Lingmo knee pads with health and skill damage. Looking at the mods, we have shock resistance 8.5, Seeker Mine +1 cluster, shield deflector damage 4.3, Firefly blind effect duration 5.7, and decoy duration of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ West. The Harmony is a good pickup. The True Patriot gloves aren't bad. They're okay, but that would be a waste of DZ resources, in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. So the Harmony would be my go-to. Now it's time to take our talents down south to the deep south. Dark Zone South. Here we go. Woo, boy. Going down south. Let's do it. All right, here we go. DZ South. Big money. No whammies.
Good to see you.
Yo, the Matador. And it has crit chance. Bruh. What? All right, go to DZ South right meow. Pick up the Matador. This is the named Walker Harris backpack with perfect adrenaline rush. Now, this one does come with crit chance, so you can easily just change health off for crit hit damage. Go double crit. Or you could change it to armor regeneration, hazard, headshot. I mean, the choice is yours to make. But regardless, Matador here with crit chance is a good pickup, and it's a must-buy over here, DZ South. Going to the weapons, we have a Police T821, crit hit damage and fast hands, a TKB with magazine size and fast hands, and a First Wave PF45 with swap speed and sledgehammer. Looking at the gear items, we have a Yaahl gear chest piece with armor regeneration, explosive resistance, and gunslinger, but nevertheless, it is Yaahl gear, and it is here at DZ South. Murakami backpack, repair skills, weapon handling, and clutch. For the gear set items, we have a Umbra backpack with crit chance and a hard-wired chest piece with skill damage. Looking at the mods, we have headshot 7.2, drone scan range 8.2, turret +1 extra mortar, and sticky bomb skill haste of 4.3. Now, must-buys, things to look for from DZ South. The Matador is a good one, and then don't forget to check out the Yaahl gear chest piece. And before we go to DZ East, we need to make a pit stop to the castle settlement. Now, what I do is I go to the descent entrance. I don't go to the main entrance. That way I could just run up the stairs here, pet the dog, and then turn around to the vendor. So run up the stairs, come over here, pet the dog. What up, Ransom? There we go. Good puppy. Hope all is well. Take care of yourself, doggy. And I will see you again this time next week. All right. Now, the castle settlement. The vendors over here past Wally. And let's check it out before the music drops. And starting with, ooh, a maxed out Picaro's holster. That's going to be a must-buy. Just change the skill haste off for whatever it is you want. You're good to go. God rolled. Really good. Picaro's holster at the castle settlement. Now, yes, the weapon damage did get a nerf. From 15% to 10%, but it is what it is. The armor is maxed out, so whenever you change the skill haste, whatever that attribute will be maxed out, and it will be God rolled. Moving on to the weapons, we have a Model 700 with breadbasket and crit hit damage, a Black Market M60 with armor damage and steady-handed. The armor damage is really good. You could just change the talent for whatever it is you want for that M60. Now for the gear items, we have a Walker Harris mask with health and hazard, and a Sokolov Concern holster with health and hazard. Looking at the mods, we have repair skills 15.6, chem launcher +1 ammo, hive +4 repair charges, pulse radius 8.7, and trap duration of 4.2. Now must-buys, things to look for from the castle settlement. The Picaro's holster is a good one, and that's really it. All right, now let's finish up the Dark Zone vendors with Dark Zone East. Now, the Dark Zone East, I do not go to the main entrance. I go to the Alpha checkpoint. That way you can just exit the checkpoint and the vendor is right there to your left. But if you go all the way to the main entrance, you're going to have to run all the way through that courtyard. And I'll show you. So if you just exit out, booyah. But if you go to the main entrance, it would spawn you way down there. All right. Here we go. DZ East. Starting with, we have another Yaahl gear right here. Yaahl gear mask. So there's 2 Yaahl gear items this week. That's pretty big. All right. That's worth mentioning. We have 2 named items here as well at DZ East. The first one, the Carnage. This is the named Negev with Perfect Sadist. And this one with Stability. But easily just change it off for damage to armor. And you're good to go. Following that, we have the Relic. This is the named Marksman Rifle with Perfect Determined. And this one with damage to targets out of cover. So this is a good one to pick up. Just max out the attributes and you're good to go. And finally, for the weapons, we have a military L86 with Stability and Precision Strike. Going down to the gear items, we have a Eclipse Protocol Mask with Skill Damage, Breaking Point Holster with Explosive Resistance, Yaahl Gear Mask with Explosive Resistance and Max Weapon Handling, and finally a Zoo Holster with Headshot and Health. Going to the mods, we have Repair Skills 16.4, Chem launcher radius 5.9, hive damage 4.2, pulse effect duration 8.8, and trap shock radius of 5.9. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ East. The Carnage is a good pickup. The Yaahl Gear Mask will forever be a good pickup, just so you can deconstruct it and craft whatever you want. I mean, we have the Yaahl Gear Mask, the chest piece, the holster. I believe we also have the backpack as blueprints. Then you can go to Descent and you can get the Hollow Man blueprint. So there's a lot of different Yaahl Gear items that you can actually craft, but you do need the materials to do so.
Detected. Location going
And
by.
finally, for
Hostiles.
Washington, D.C., we have the theater. The theater. We are going to the theater. Who went and saw the new Captain America? Brave New World? Anyone? Red Hulk?
You want a deal?
All right, here we go.
I want a
Theater.
deal too. Let's do some business.
Starting with the Eagle's Grasp. This is the named Zoo Gloves with weapon handling as an attribute, but this one with crit hit damage, so you can easily just change the weapon damage off for armor or max out the weapon damage itself. Looking at the weapons, we have a Super 90 with headshot and pumped up, a MK17 with swap speed and fast hands. To the gear items, we have Douglas and Harding gloves with repair skills and hazard, and finally, Zoo knee pads with skill damage and skill haste. Going to the mods, we have Pulse Resistance 8.6, Seeker Mine +1 cluster, Shield Deflector damage 4.3, Firefly +1 max target, and Decoy Health of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from the theater. The Eagle's Grasp would be your number one pickup. All right. And that is it for Washington, D.C. Let's finish up in New York City. And that leaves us with the Haven Settlement. Here we go. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, what are you waiting on? Come on, support the channel. We do daily Division content. So make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division video. All right, here we go. Marco. Starting with the MK16. This one, magazine size and sadist. Following that, we have a LAMG with magazine size and perpetuation, M870 with optimal range and steady-handed, and a Magnum with damage targets at a cover and breadbasket. Going to the gear items, ooh, that's a good Fenner's chest piece. So we have a Fenner's chest piece here, crit chance, hazard, and glass cannon. I would just change the hazard off for crit damage and go double crit. Following that, we have Heligard gloves with max armor regeneration. Nice. But the armor is so low, it doesn't matter. What I would typically do is just change the health off for whatever it is you want. You're good to go. But again, that armor is so low, it would take forever to optimize it to fully max. And then finally, for the gear items, we have an Electric holster. This is a good holster. It comes with skill damage and skill haste. I would just change the skill haste off for status effects, and you're good to go. Going to the mods, we have skill duration 8.6, shock resistance 8.3, drone duration 6.5, hive reviver armor repair 8.5, and trap health of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from Marco. The Fenris with glass cannon's nice. Just change it to double crit. The Heligard's not bad. If you have the materials to optimize, just change the health for whatever it is you want, and then optimize that armor. And then finally, the Electric holster, just change the skill haste to status effects. And that, my dear agents, will leave us with one last vendor, Roy Benitez. Ooh, but wait, make sure that you interact with this dog twice. The first one, you're just petting him, pretty easy. But that second one, man, that second one is random. He could roll over, he could pet, he could try to shake your hand. Let's see what he does. He could just bark at you. Oh, he rolled over. Oh, he rolled over. Nice. All right. And finishing up with Roy Benitez.
How can I help you, Agent?
Starting with the enhanced PP19, stability and perpetuation. The Big Show, named LMG with perfect thunderstrike and swap speed. SASG with optimal range and optimist, and finally a M1911 with headshot and optimist. Looking at the gear items, we have a Walker Harris chest piece with spotter, weapon handling, and armor regeneration. Palisade gloves with hazard and skill damage. And finally, Richter and Kaiser mask with repair skills and armor regeneration. That's not a bad one. Just change the skill tier to an armor core. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Because then you could have like a regen god, like self-heal type of deal. That could be a good one. And looking at the mods, we have crit chance 4.4, protection from elites 11%, shield deflector damage 4.3, firefly skill haste 5.9, and decoy duration of 6.0. Now, must buys things to look for from Roy Benitez. Not really. I mean, even the Walker Harris with spotter, but then weapon handling, meh. I don't know. I'd probably say no. All right. And that will conclude our weekly vendor reset and must buys for today, February 18th. We had a few goodies. We had some Yaahl gear pieces. We had the Matador. I mean, there's some good ones in there. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. I am Kamikazevondoom. If you found this helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, please hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And finally, shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone's from. But again, I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. And peace out.